Hey, you're listening to AKA Ayyo84, Ayyo84 on LA Talk Radio. Hey, you guys, how are you? Ayyo84, Ayyo82. Okay, guys, so we've been having like really just up and down entertainers, people from the rap world, people from hip hop, people from pop, actors. Today we have another special guest. To my immediate left, we have, is it hip hop artist Demo?
That's right.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Say hello to everyone out there watching.
What's going on, y'all?
Okay, so listen. Okay, so I've been in LA for like 2 years, and I met you at the Soulful Noise for Sundays.
Right.
Okay,
right.
and it's Xavier's. I think it's his program, isn't it?
Xavier and Lanisha.
Lanisha, that's his. Is it wife or girlfriend?
His girl. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they run this show, this Sunday kind of brunch thing called Soulful Sundays.
Yep.
It is absolutely amazing. You meet all these soulful artists, the guitarists, the drummers. We had who is it? Tyler Murphy here.
That's my guy. Shout out Tyler.
Tyler. Okay, so we're gonna get into that.
That's my guy.
We have Tyler. We've had, I don't know who else from, I think only Tyler has been here. Okay. And you know what? We get to learn about you. You're one of the artists that I wanted to handpick for the show. Oh, now, your name is Demo. How did you come up with that? It's DMO, but
it's DMO, yep.
How do you come
up with that? It's pronounced Demo.
Okay,
it's
why
actually,
Demo?
I mean, so like when I first started rapping, I was trying to figure out a name. I went through like 6 names. I went through all these names trying to figure it out.
What's your first name, if you mind me asking?
So my first name is Dwayne.
Okay, it can't be like Little D or Little.
I don't think Little D. I don't think that has the right connotation I'm trying to go for.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
I don't think.
No, it doesn't. Because obviously you're straight. So how did you come up with DMO? Like Demo.
So I went through all these names, and then for a while, when I was really getting into it, I went by D Money.
D Money, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool, but it was like everybody that name started with a D had that name. If you wanted to be a rapper, everybody was called
Money.
Something
it's got to have money like
it had to
tagged
have
to
money
it.
in there.
Okay.
And then I was broke, so I was like, this isn't really
typical musician story.
So I'm like, this isn't really this is not adding up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and I just didn't like the name. I just felt like for the type of music I was trying to create, I felt like it just wasn't giving out the right name. And then I was like, all right, well, and everybody was already calling me that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really want to get rid of it all the way, but I was like, I need to figure out something that's fits me a little bit better, still has my name in it, doesn't go too far, but not just out here trying to act like something I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I said, we'll just shorten it and make it Demo.
Demo, okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and something I want to point out, listen, so we're going to get into you and your musical genre, but something I want to point out now, your style. See, when I first saw you on stage, you crossed me as like a hype man. Like, you're jumping on stage and woo, let's go. Like a hype man. I thought that's what you were. Okay. But then you started rapping and you sang a little bit and then and his style is not really that much hip hop. I didn't really know where to place you. So what is your musical genre?
That's great that you didn't know where to place me because I don't ever really want to be put in a box. So that's definitely a compliment for me. I think the easiest way to categorize it is just hip hop. I think that's the easiest way to categorize it. Or if we want to try to, because if we think about hip hop today, it's not even really what hip hop was.
Not originally.
It's not even. There's so many subgenres inside of hip hop right now that it's hard to even categorize them. Sometimes you listen to music, you're like, is that even hip hop? Like, what? Because it's subjective. What do you consider hip hop? So it's like. I think that I like to call it, like on some records, I like to call it narrative hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I like to call it storytelling.
Okay.
And sometimes it's just mood music. You know what I mean?
Mood music. Okay. Yeah. I never heard of that. Yeah. But so your style is kind of, you said narrative hip hop. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, narrative, because you talk, like you do a story.
Exactly.
You talk about like real stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I've actually seen a few of your videos and you have a wonderful videographer.
Yeah.
I'm jealous that you got. I did not have that when I came to California. Right. I paid $400 $400 out of my pocket for something that was like maybe 75-80% of what I wanted. I wanted like a Beyonce kind of video that I'm just, you guys, you'll see it.
You gonna have to send me that. I need to see it.
It's on my Instagram.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
I'll repost it. But no, I did not. The quality of video, and I'm seeing a lot of you. I don't know your age, but you young people are doing quality music videos, and I am just like, wow, like where are they getting like the service? I would love to have access to that. And then again, and it tells a story. Right. Your videos actually tell a story. I'm like, wow, I like it. It's not raunchy. I like to sometimes, I'm very deep. And I like to think about things. I like to think about society. I like to talk about real issues. I like music that talks about and addresses real issues. I don't think we have enough of that today. Not everybody want to know about money and hoes. We know all about that, okay? We want to know about, okay, what's going on in your house. We want to know about love. We want to know about relationships. We want to know about school. I want to hear about school. I want to hear about ambition. I want to know about the struggle. I want to know about everything. Yeah. And I think a lot of you have a few of your songs. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But I appreciate your music going in that direction. Appreciate that. And I don't know. And it actually, okay, so you guys know I'm African, right? I'm Nigerian. I'm West African. I'm Nigerian. Right. Okay, I'm representing for you guys right now. Okay, I'm Ayyo84. That's my first name. Okay, so you know what? I think because I come from that background, and this is what we do. We're very judgmental people. See, I saw you being, I heard that sigh. I'm not going to say anything negative. I think the way you present yourself is so polished. Thank you. And it's so put together. And the immediate thing we think, well, us women, okay, he's from a good family. He's from a good upbringing. Okay, he has his shit together. Okay, he probably has a good car and probably has a good job too. Okay, let's see what's going on with him. That's how most of us, I mean, we see people. So you have obviously very good presentation about yourself. And that's why you did not cross me as like a hip hop artist, because I'm sorry to say most of like the rap and the hip hop artists, they don't come with the cleanest representation, if that makes any sense.
No, I get that. I think that, you know, like what's represented in the media, you know, as far as hip hop artists, it's heavily swayed to one side for the most part.
Yes.
So that's all we see.
We don't see the clean hip hop.
There's definitely other talents and other presentations when it comes to music in general, and you know, in the media or commercial hip hop, commercial radio, we see one side of it, and as a result, we gravitate towards that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're being fed all the time, so we gravitate towards it. And so sometimes when you get a different type of artist or somebody that presents himself in a different way, it could be either one or two things. Either you don't like it at all, or it's like, you know, because it's not familiar, or it's a breath of fresh air. And
to me, it was a breath of fresh air. And I want to know, have you gotten any like any setbacks from like, I'm not sure if you've been to the labels yet. Are you with the label?
I'm not. Well, I'm not with a major label.
Oh, okay.
I have my own label. It's called G.R.E.A.T Society.
Oh, okay.
And we're doing
you independent, or you just have
everything independent?
That's the way to do it. Now, guys, keep your bag, okay?
Absolutely.
Keep your bag.
Absolutely.
I'm so tired of having my bag stolen from me. Nicki Minaj, I'm kidding. She didn't steal my bag. I don't have a bag.
She didn't stop your bag?
No, she didn't stop my bag. I'm not out there yet. So I mean, with that, I think it's important to know. So have you been to the labels before? We have Capitol out here.
I have not officially been to the labels. I've been in talks with labels before, but never officially taken a meeting.
Okay. Yeah. And the reason behind that?
To be honest, I would love to sit here and say that I turned them down or nothing. It just didn't go that far. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So and that happens. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I think at that time, had it gone that far, I absolutely would have taken a deal. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, I'd have to definitely consider and weigh all my options, and that wouldn't be something that I would just jump to immediately. As back, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, I would have. But the industry's changed, and the labels know that. You know what I'm saying?
The labels are figuring it out, actually. Yeah. Now, if you guys didn't know already, a lot of these labels are finding artists on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that how Cardi B got started? Actually, Cardi B, she worked hard. I'm not going to take away her credit, but a large part of Cardi B, and she's on her Instagram. I have a video. I'm at the BET Awards and I'm watching Cardi on stage. She's amazing. She got a lot of her clout from Instagram.
Right.
And I see a lot of these labels, and people tell me from the industry, they are finding a lot of their talent from Instagram. Instagram, artists of Instagram. You'll see that hashtag Instagram artist or social media. This is like amazing. This is a new way. I think do you think people have become lazier? These labels have become lazier, or it's just easier to find people who actually have numbers that are representing. You see the numbers, and you know they have real representation, real fans, and you see by the comments, you know, that people are enjoying the music. So what do you think about that versus, and we've talked about this before with other artists that have actually been on the show. There are artists that are, you know, they prefer to keep it real and be at the shows and get their bag and do a show. And then we have, you know, people like Tekashi 6ix9ine that put their stuff on SoundCloud and, you know, get discovered by these, you know, by all the record labels and their representatives. What do you think about that?
I think what we're witnessing right now is we're actually in the prime of a revolution. You understand what I'm saying? So we're watching the industry change before our eyes, and sometimes you know, it happens, and then people play catch up. Yeah. And the record labels, as a result of that, are kind of playing catch up, but they have way bigger bags behind them, so they can make it look different. You know what I'm saying? I don't have an issue with them going to Instagram to get artists, because that's what we're there for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that. I think it's another form of media. You know, that just replaced some live shows, that replaced some television, because we got it all on our phone. That's what it's there for. They should be doing that. But what they're technically doing is, record labels don't really have as much leeway as they did when it comes to wasting their bag. You understand what I'm saying?
If they have money to waste nowadays.
Yeah. So what they want to do is, they know that the artist can go ahead and get popping by themselves. You know what I'm saying? With maybe some outside help here and there, or some connections here and there, they can pretty much do all of that artist development work themselves. Whether that's real artist development or not that's another story. But they can at least make it look like they've developed as an artist, build a fan base. And now the record label can come in and say, okay, what we're going to do is just take what you have and put it on 10. You already have everything that we need. We're going to give you some more resources and just make it grow. Therefore, they can get a quick ROI on what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? They get a quick return immediately on what's already there. They don't have to put in that groundwork. You know what I'm saying?
We don't see them put hardly any work from the music we hear now. But I wanted to ask, so do you have your own home studio?
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yep. And is your hometown, is it, are you originally from LA or San Diego, or?
I'm from San Diego.
Okay.
And
so drive out here.
No, I live out here now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a 3-hour drive. I hope he's on time.
It's a push. I mean, I go back a lot, but I've been in LA for like the last 5 years.
5 years? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about the music scene out here?
I love it out here. I mean, it was a part of my whole reason for coming out here. One thing I want to say about San Diego is we have so much talent. There's so many dope artists in San Diego that don't really get the shine that they should, because sometimes the resources aren't there. And that market doesn't get explored. I think it's starting to get explored more, but there's so much dope talent in San Diego. But you reach a threshold in San Diego where you can only do the same shows so many times. You can only connect with the same people so many times, and sometimes, you know, at least for me, I had to get out of that. On top of that, I wanted to build myself as an artist. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that coming out to LA, putting myself around artists that are better than me, will make me a better artist ultimately. So that's what I did. Okay,
you say other artists, but who were your influences coming up in the game? And how did you know you wanted to do music? Did this like come from college? Has it always been in your blood? I mean, most people kind of know what they want to do when it comes like high school, what direction they want to go into. How was it for you?
There's traces of music in my blood, I feel like, but it wasn't like I didn't come out the womb rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that story. Like, man, I've been rapping for. It wasn't like that for me. What I was I knew that I liked performing, and I knew that I liked writing. The coolest way to do that in high school was to rap.
Okay, so were you like, wait a minute, okay. So like this is high school / middle school to me.
Right.
I remember like the kids used to be like doing some beats.
Yep.
I'm not going to do it right now, but they do you guys know what I'm talking about. The beats and like, and they start doing the little raps and people like, we cheer them on if we like what we hear. But was that you, one of them kids that banging on the doors and banging? The teacher would hate this, okay? Yeah. They would absolutely hate it. And actually, what was funny about it? It was not just like the black kids. It was the white kids. It was the Spanish kids. It was the Asian kids. It was all like
everybody
rapping.
wants to rap at the lunch table.
Everybody rapped at the lunch table. Yeah. Everybody rapped in the classroom table. That was the thing, okay? So.
Right. Okay. Right, that's definitely what it was for me, and I sucked so bad.
Okay, wait a minute.
I was horrible.
What were you bad at, the beats or like the rapping?
Freestyling.
Okay.
Yeah, it was hard. So what I would do is I would the night before try to prepare my raps in my head, and then you know what I'm saying. And
the performance. Okay, so he was preparing for the performance.
I'm gonna give you the real right now. So I would know what I was gonna wear the next day.
Oh, okay.
And I might I might write something in my head that is gonna, I might have some Chucks on, some white Chucks with the blue inside or something like that. And I knew, and so I knew that tomorrow we was gonna rap. So I would draw some type of rhyme up that would draw parallels to the blue lining in my shoe or something like that. So it looks like it just came off the top of my head. Like I just thought of this right now, because I'm wearing these shoes. You know what I'm saying? That's such a minor, rare detail. How did he just think of that off the top of his head? It's just random. Make it look more real. So I was doing that for a while, and then people thought I was good.
What? This isn't like in high school,
this
or
is
like
in high school?
What?
High school, yeah.
Okay, so you prepared?
Oh yeah. I wasn't about to get up there and just because I knew I sucked. You know what I'm saying?
They would clown you, right?
Yeah. So sometimes, sometimes if this is where they get you is you have to do it more than once. If they really liked what you said, and now you got to rap again, it comes back to you, and now you put on the spot because you only prepared one rap the night before.
What? Okay, so, I've never even heard of. Listen, we do. Okay, so you guys have. Yes, this is so funny. Yeah. There is actually a film out right now. A few actors, I forget. One of them was from the Disney Channel. It's out. It's a rap battle type of movie. It's out. I saw it. There was a Breakfast Club in New York interview. I forget the name of the movie, but it looks like something I'd really want to see. It's about battling, people doing rap battles.
Okay, rap battles.
And this is what would happen to, the kids would do this in like high school or like middle school. And, we'd be there, or be one side of the lunchroom and the other side of the lunchroom when people would just go at it. I thought that was just like, wow, And, people, they weren't prepared. Right. They just weren't prepared for some of these kids. Some of these kids spit hard.
I'm all about prepreparation. Are you? At the end of the day, you get up there, nobody's going to care. Because here's the ironic thing about that. Now you watch any of these radio interviews and things like that where they have you go up there and freestyle. They come up there with raps ready. It's not even a real freestyle no more. And I'm not mad at that. So don't
That's not really authentic.
It depends because, sometimes it's just about preparation. It's dope when somebody can go off the head, but sometimes you're going up there to get that shine and showcase your talent. So whether you write it or not, as far as was it off the top of the head or did you prepare it, the listener sometimes it doesn't matter to them. And that's kind of the world that we live in. It don't really matter how you got there as long as you got there. You know what I'm saying?
Can't have no ghostwriter live, okay?
It depends, you know what I'm saying? Some people, whatever works for you. At the end of the day, you got to see yourself. Because I think that there's artists that specialize in writing, and I think that there's artists that specialize in performing. And that's a talent in itself, which I think sometimes gets overlooked because you could have somebody write something crazy for you, but if you can't deliver it, you know what I'm saying? Because you think about it like this. You got people that write records all day. Why aren't they doing it themselves? Because they may not be able to deliver it as well as they hear other people do it.
Can you think of any artists off the top of your head? Be real.
Any artist that can...
Who can deliver? Okay. He's actually a DJ. Lil Jon.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Jon, but the deliverance, it could be just like 2 words or one.
I give you an artist right now from back in the day, Bow Wow. Bow Wow had
back in the day.
He had one of the coldest deliveries as a kid. He I don't know how much of his rap he was writing, but I know Jermaine Dupri was writing a lot of that. And for him to deliver it as a kid, as well as he did, man, he was delivering them records.
Performance-wise?
Go back and listen to some of his records. He was delivering them like he wrote it. That's a talent.
It did seem like Bow Wow wrote a lot of, this is way back in the day. But speaking of Deliverance, we have one of your songs here right now. We're about to play. We're going to listen to a little bit of, I guess, your hip hop or artist narrative.
Yeah,
how do you call your music?
rap.
See, I can't. Narrative rap. See,
Yeah.
this is something new. You guys are creating things every day.
We create all the time. I mean, that's what we do. We just always working. This record that we're gonna get into is this is a premiere right now. Actually, this is we're gonna do the premiere because actually I just submitted the record last night. It's gonna be out on November 30th. But I wanted to make sure we brought something special for you. You know what I'm saying? So and give to your listeners.
So what's the name of this?
It's called Winter Feel Like Summer.
Winter Feel Like Summer.
It's the second single off my new album, Summer.
You produced this?
That's right.
I did not produce this. It's produced by Flash.
And when they play this song, you better turn it up. This your favorite song from the summer to the winter. We gon' skip the line tonight and walk straight to the entrance. And you'll be glowed up by the time I end the sentence. I wonder how you think with them jeans on. My mind going blank, I'm on King Kong. And we know them other women like to talk a lot. You say you don't hear what they be talking about. But we know that you've been waking up and working out. And we know that tonight you gon' be showing. This feel like $100 bill, mansion on the hills. Top down, gripping on the leather steering wheel. Winter feel like summer, Southern California. And when this party over, I'ma meet you at another light. We said, ayo, 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 ayo. What's up? She said, ayo, 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 ayo. How you feel? She said, ayo, 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 ayo. Is it real? We said, ayo, 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 ayo. What's up? She said, ayo, 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 ayo. What's good? She said, ayo, 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 ayo. Now what's real? We said, ayo, 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 ayo. I think it's great. She said, ayo, 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 ayo.
You wrote that for me, didn't you?
I did. I wrote that specifically for you. What you thought?
Wait. Oh my God. You know what? I really like that track. I want to know what was your inspiration besides me?
Okay, so with that record, again, it's called Winter Feels Like Summer. So I think about a year and a half ago, I decided to stop writing my records and just to go in there and just rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have a home studio.
Can you sing at all? Do you do any singing?
I'm learning.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
So I'll weave that into my records and my performances every now and then.
the little Chris Brown singing and rapping.
It ain't Chris Brown, but I'm doing. I can sing within my range. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still learning that range.
Alrighty.
So I decided to stop writing my records and start just kind of, for lack of a better term, going off the top of my head when I wrote these records or when I recorded my records. So I did that, and this was one of the first ones that I did that with, and I liked the way it sounded. Okay. And around this time, it was the winter time, and I just imagine, as I'm a big advocate and a lover of Southern California. Like I love living in SoCal.
I love beautiful Southern California.
I love it.
I love LA and Hollywood.
If you just think about the vibe here, it's like no matter what, it always feels like summer. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
For the most part, we have our days, obviously, but winter feels like the summertime. And it was, when I was creating this record, I remember the Winter Olympics were on. And I was watching them, and I was watching the snowboarders. And I create music at night, so it's like 2 a.m.
Oh, is at night? Excuse me. At night is when you're most creative?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. Some people are different. Yeah. And me in the morning, that's when I'm ready to go.
Is that right?
Not at night. Listen, don't bother me. Go ahead.
Late night, so I might start around 11 and go to like 2 or 3 a.m, and that's when I'm creating. And when I would get done, I would get done recording. I go lay down and turn the TV on. I like to fall asleep with the TV on, or I like to watch a little bit before I go to sleep. And imagine it's 2 a.m. Every time I would turn the TV on, the Winter Olympics was on because they were in. Where were they at? Sydney last year? Beijing. Whatever country they were in.
Beijing. Okay.
Yeah, they were somewhere. But because of the time difference, they were coming on around 2 or 3 a.m, and it's the Winter Olympics. So I'm thinking about the dichotomy of like, how is it winter, so much snow? I'm looking at the vibe there, the landscape. I'm looking at everything, and I'm like, wow, like it's really winter there. And I'm like, it feels like summer over here. It's crazy. So every night I was going to,
SoCal.
and so, obviously the Olympics, they could last for a couple weeks or whatever, however long it is, you're watching it. And so every night I'm going to sleep after creating the record, that's what was on. And it just made me that's just what was in my head. And it made me want to talk about that interesting dynamic of being in SoCal and how blessed we are even to be here, first of all.
I feel blessed to be here.
Yeah.
Does not snow, thank God.
Right.
I do not miss that.
And, so I created that vibe, and I created the narrative around that. And just there were some other things that I wanted to talk about in that record. Like if you dig deep, there's storylines behind the storyline. Like in the hook, I say, or in the, I don't even know what part you want to call it. Maybe like a pre-hook. The lines are, and we know all them women like to talk a lot. She say she don't hear what they be talking about. And we know you've been waking up and working out. And we know that tonight you going to be showing out. I imagined, you know how you have, like, everybody got haters, right?
Yeah.
So, and you'll find with my records, a lot of the times I like to speak to the female perspective. And the reason why is, I grew up around a lot of women, my two sisters and my mom. Obviously, my dad was there too, but he was in the military, so he was out to see a lot. There's a lot of times where I had to.
That gives you a different perspective.
Oh yeah,
that explains a lot of your your music. And one thing I want to talk about. I mean, I told you, besides the fact that you present a lot of real things, and I appreciate you talking about real stuff. Okay, now there's a lot of controversy around. I'm not sure if you're paying attention to social media and what's going on with a lot of rap artists and actually some musicians and actors too. There's a lot of heat on particularly, black men right now from the females.
Why is
Listen, not only that, but just, how messy this game gets.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of baby mama drama.
Okay.
And are you calling one of your baby mamas right now?
I'm posting our interview right now.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Hey, I want to know about my artists. I researched them before they get here, right? Okay. So unfortunately, we have people like, and I hate to mention their names, but they put it out there.
Okay,
Future and who's this left? What's the one with the one eye? A lot of the one Cardi B is with right now. The Migos, a bunch of them. Basically every rapper in the game has at least 6 or 5 baby mamas. Okay. You don't cross me as that type, although I do not know you that well.
Thank God.
Listen, to me, I would think it gets expensive to have, listen, between 5 baby mamas, let's say each one, maybe 1 or 2 kids, you do the math. Okay, that's like 10 children. I want to know where you see yourself in the game as a successful narrative artist. Do you see yourself having like a chick on a wife and a chick on the side, or I see so many artists mimic their peers. And it's not positive. I don't want this to be something that, we have kids in high school right now thinking, oh, I want to be a rapper. And they get out here and they're rappers and they just follow their peers. What do you think about that, Demo?
It's not something that I aspire. Like, I'm not out here trying to make, 6 different kids and 4 different baby mamas. That's not the goal for me. I think that sometimes it just has to do with how you were brought up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that, I don't know that there's necessarily a negative connotation on that. I think it's just kind of what you want. And sometimes you get into a relationship and have kids with the expectations that everything's going to work out. For some reason or another, it doesn't. And, God bless you if you're able to recognize that it doesn't.
But why doesn't it work out when there's money?
That's probably more problems. Wouldn't you
like
say?
What?
I don't know. I haven't been fortunate enough to experience an abundance of money to where it's created issues for me. But
we see people like, good example. We have, we talk. I talk about Cardi a lot, don't I? We see her who was worth millions, and her husband worth millions. What's her husband's name again? Offset. Okay, so you would think they live in Atlanta. We just spoke about Atlanta a few minutes ago. Right. They live in Atlanta where it is, it's not so expensive. They have a beautiful home, dogs, beautiful culture. Yet, Offset, I think he has like 4 other baby mamas, and supposedly he's still cheating. So I think, in my opinion, I think a lot of people think the end to their problems is with that dollar. And especially when you're a musician, you get caught up in the game. Have you seen the Bobby Brown story?
Yeah.
Okay, I actually met Bobby Brown. I told a few artists about this on the show. I met Bobby Brown. Listen, that is a very, very dynamic life. Very dynamic lifestyle that he led back in the late 80s and 90s. And you know what? You're right. I guess money's not the cure.
Right.
What is?
Happiness.
An artist is not happy with doing the music. What do you consider happiness when you have everything at your feet? You have the woman of your dreams, you have the career of your dreams, you have boatloads of money. How can someone not be happy with that?
I think that, again, this is us looking outside in because, everybody has.
I wish I wasn't there.
Right. But I think that there's other variables that play into things like that. When you're in that situation, you have other people that you're trying to keep happy. You know what I'm saying? Once you come into money, you have people and loved ones and family members that you need to take care of.
That's true.
And you have a lot of people depending on you. And sometimes once you taste a certain amount of happiness or a certain high, you want more, and I think that as a celebrity or someone who has like so much money or something like that, like they have a lot of things that are thrown at them. And sometimes it's like, if you don't have, if nothing's stopping you from saying no, or, this is all going to be there tomorrow, who's to say, why? Like sometimes that's just the way that people think of it. And this is just me from the outside looking in. I don't know, but I would imagine that, you get caught chasing that high, chasing that success, chasing that money, chasing that bag, and it's easy to lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? Imagine accomplishing all your goals. Now what? Imagine you started creating music to be world-renowned, to have a #1 Billboard record, and now you got 6 of them. Now you got 5 of them, 4 of them, whatever the case may be. Now what? You know what I'm saying? You reached everything you want to do. Now it's time to do more, and to feed that that hunger. Sometimes you just lose yourself when you're trying to feed that.
Do you see yourself getting in that predicament?
What, what do you mean? What predicament?
The same. Listen, I listened to everything you just said. A lot, and I ask every artist this question. Okay, if you were given the opportunity to move on besides your independent project into a label or in the enchilada that you want to be in, do you see yourself going through those struggles? Do you see yourself being successful and having everything you want?
I think the best way to answer that is that I don't think anybody sees themselves wilding out, you know what I'm saying, to the point where it starts negatively affecting them. If they knew that those negative effects were going to come, they wouldn't have taken that route probably.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I think that might just be my logic speaking, but I definitely want to achieve a certain amount of success. I want to, achieve a certain amount of happiness, and who's to say what's going to come with that? So it's hard to say. I hope not. I hope that I don't get to a point where it starts negatively impacting my life.
Okay, so it goes back to this point too. So are you doing this as a career? Are you doing this as a hobby? Or?
Oh no, this is absolutely a career for me.
This is a career. So you want to go all the way with this?
Yeah, at this point, it's interesting. I have this record called Never Stop.
Okay.
And in this record, whenever I perform it, I like to talk about the record before I get into it, because it's a record that means a lot to me. It's a record that I think embodies the vision that I try to put out there and the message that I want to put out there. And it's just like once you've been doing something for so long, it's so hard to just turn your back on it, because it's like if you were to be working on whatever your craft is for 10, 15 plus years, what happens when you just stop? Does that mean all of those 10, 15 years was just worth nothing? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's got to amount to something. And as a matter of fact, you have a lot of like hustle. I looked at your Instagram, by the way. You have a lot of hustle message or like stay on your shit type of.
Right.
You actually have Will Smith in one. You have a clip of Will Smith, and Will Smith, he made a very, very interesting. To me, it's like an analogy.
Yeah.
And he talks about, I may not be the best rapper, I may not be the best this, the best that, that, but you will never be able to stop me on a treadmill.
Damn right.
I will die trying.
Right. And the just to touch on that video, I mean, and you saw there's a few of them like that.
You have a few of them that are very, very inspirational.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these are things that I watch and things that actually
Really?
inspire. Absolutely. Wow. Like I love watching interviews. I love watching. I love like looking at people who have been doing this for a long time, or people. I love watching people who came from nothing and turned themselves into something.
Do you consider yourself coming from nothing, though?
No, absolutely not. Okay. Nope. I had a very nice, a very decent like upbringing,
and it shows.
Thank you. I had a loving mother and father, and we got by, and we didn't have the world, but we definitely. I was, I'm very blessed to have been raised the way that I was raised. You know what I'm saying? I know not everybody gets that, so shout out to mom and pops.
There we go.
Yeah.
Good upbringing, right?
But I think that in the scope of artistry, in the scope of rap, I'm not sure that I don't know that I have the easiest path drawn for me just because of my upbringing. I don't know that helps me as much as it might seem like it does. I forgot the original question.
No, I think you're right on it. No, you were talking about hustling, and I was asking you why you have basically
those
you have so much hustle message, but that's what keeps you motivated, isn't it?
Because even let's take the landscape of the top 5 hip hop artists or whatever. Their stories are fairly similar, and where that started from the bottom story, or you can definitely draw parallels to their upbringing and to their path. I don't feel like I fit that mold a lot of the time.
You don't fit, like I said, you don't fit really any genre, but you're kind of your own genre.
Yeah, which is great for me.
Independent type of radio.
Yeah.
And you said listen, I know that you do Spotify.
I do. I'm on Spotify.
Spotify. Give us all your plugs.
Okay.
Spotify.
So I'm on Spotify. You can just search. I think that the easiest way to search me is just search Demo, DMO, and you can look up my last album or EP, which is called Here I Go. I always tell people just put Demo, Here I Go.
DMO. I had it wrong the first time.
Yep.
DMO, or actually your Instagram is what? This is DMO?
This is Demo. Yep.
Okay, yeah. This is DMO. Is his Instagram. But listen, tell me all your plugs. Spotify. Was it
Apple Music.
Amazon.
Tidal. Shout out to Tidal, by the way.
Tidal? Oh, yeah, God. Okay, Tidal. What else?
Google Play.
SoundCloud. You're on everything.
YouTube. Yeah. Facebook Music. Wherever you can get music, I'm there.
You're there?
For sure.
Okay. Okay. And be honest. Maybe you don't want to be honest. Listen, I don't know what your bag looks like right now, but you being in all those different plugs, where do you feel, and this is for people who are going to come up, okay? What's the best plug? Spotify, Google Music, because I see a lot of artists popping on that SoundCloud. Tekashi 6ix9ine came from SoundCloud.
Yeah, I believe he did. I think it depends on the type of artist you are. And, let me answer this 2 ways. One, I think it depends on the type of artist you are. If you are that new school rap, where like kind of in the vein of Tekashi 6ix9ine and the little rappers, they have built an amazing community through SoundCloud. And if you can penetrate that community,
that's all the kids listen to now.
Yeah, if you can penetrate that community, then you'll do fine, or you can at least build a decent fan base, because they're fiending. The kids are fiending from new music from that. Hoping to
be one of them.
Absolutely, a lot of them are. You hit that right on the nail. A lot of them are trying to be.
That's right.
Trying to be that artist, and they go there and they listen to it, and they built up their own community. And if you can penetrate that, then you're very good. But the second part of that answer is, no matter which platform you decide to use as your primary, and this is really important, this is key, you have got to touch across all boards. You have got to touch every single platform that you possibly can.
And that's a new thing right now, guys. Touch all the boards, touch all the social medias. Now, Demo spoke a little bit about the industry and artists he thinks he knows. Let's play a game. I have a few cards here. I just want you to answer. I give you. This is basically like a multiple choice. This has never been done on my show before.
I didn't know we was gonna have tests.
Yeah, we have. I used to be a teacher, so.
All right.
Okay, so these should be easy. Just answer which one is according. Okay, so 3 of these artists: Machine Gun Kelly, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar. Who is from Long Beach?
Who's the artist?
Machine Gun Kelly, Snoop Dogg.
Oh, Snoop.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, Snoop Dogg is from the LBC. That's 1 point for you. Okay, put that down. All right. What do these artists have in common? And I'll give you a clue if you can't get it.
All right.
Nicki Minaj, Tekashi 6ix9ine, we just spoke about him, Mariah Carey, Alicia Keys. Tell me if you need a clue.
Tekashi, Nicki Minaj, Mariah Carey,
and Alicia Keys.
So 4 artists total?
There's 4 artists. What do they all have in common?
Is it related to like they have a similar name of a single?
I'll give you a clue. It's geographical.
New York.
Very good. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, you got 2 points so far. Yeah, that's okay. I didn't give him a clue yet. Now we're good. Okay, going in deep now. Okay. Who has a net worth of 160 million? One of 2 artists. Christina Aguilera or Britney Spears?
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a good question. Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera?
Which one?
A net worth of 160 mil?
160 mil. That may seem a lot to you guys. And myself, of course. I just want 1 million.
I had to go with Christina.
Oh my God, you got it right!
Yeah. I had to go with Christina.
Okay, three so far. Good job. Okay, next question. This one he may not get. Who was born Peter Jean Hernandez? 3 of these artists. They all have stage names, but this is their government name. Peter Jean Hernandez. Okay. Is it Prince Royce? This is their Latin artists, okay? Well, some of them are Latin. Daddy Yankee. Last one, Bruno Mars. Who was born Peter Jean Hernandez?
Daddy Yankee.
Believe it or not, Bruno Mars.
Whoa.
That is his government name. Born in Honolulu, Hawaii. Yes, Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yeah, I knew that part. Yeah.
Peter Jean Hernandez, okay? Not some Hawaiian name, not some, regular name. I couldn't believe it either. Okay, that one came from Google. All right, next question. Last question.
All right. What's my score right now?
So far, you got 3.
Oh, I'm 3 out of 4?
3 out of 5 so far.
3 out of 5.
Oh,
What?
Yes. This is
How
the
many
last
did I
question.
miss? Oh, okay. All right.
Okay,
all right.
yeah.
3
So we went through 4.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
unless we did. Okay,
Okay.
so next question. Who, now think about this one.
All right.
Who started out as a kid star on Barney? Either Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, or Ariana Grande. Now, you guys at home should know this if you've watched Barney.
Really? Is this common? This is common knowledge?
You did not listen. You grew up with Barney, right? Who didn't grow? Did you grow up with Barney?
Can I ask a clarifying question? When did Barney go off air? Off air? Is it
Barney
still air?
went on up into the 2000s.
Did it really?
Yes.
Okay.
I grew up Barney. I've been watching Barney maybe since 93, 95. This is when I was in elementary school.
That's helping me kind of field my
Barney went
my
on
answer,
up until the 2000s. Guys, do your research.
Okay. Do your Googles.
Okay. Let me tell you. Okay.
Give me the options.
Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, or Ariana Grande. One of them became big starting from Barney, not the Disney Channel. Barney.
This could be either one. This really could be either one. I feel like I'm gonna have to go with who looks the most Barney-esque.
If that makes any sense.
Like who? I'm trying to imagine them as a child. Like who would have been the most Barney appropriate face on TV?
Take a wild guess.
Can we? I can't phone a friend.
No,
Okay.
Sorry, no lifeline.
Okay, no lifeline.
No lifeline.
Let's say I'm gonna go with Selena Gomez.
You are correct. That was okay. Listen, you guys at home, if you guys have watched, everyone I'm assuming has seen Barney. I'm 34. I have been growing up. I grew up with Barney in the 90s. Barney actually didn't stop until I think maybe the late or still mid, maybe into the 2000s. Barney's been going on strong. Yeah, we grew up with Barney. And actually it's two, Selena Gomez, and guess who else? Demi Lovato started off with Barney, moved on to the Disney Channel.
Wow.
And that is some trivia.
Selena Gomez, was she on Disney Channel too?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, okay.
And I believe both of them from Texas. I'm from Texas. Those, Texas is a place where I think a lot of people, get humble beginnings, and they come to Hollywood, and it all goes on the drain. So, you know what? A lot of those trivia questions. So, some of them don't make sense, but all of these artists, guys, they're regular people that started off basically with very humble beginnings and became something. I was really shocked about the whole Bruno Mars. Hernandez, come on.
Yeah. He had I watched like some type of story they did on him. He had a crazy kind of like upbringing. Like,
I think he's, I read this, his nationality is actually Ashkenazi Jew. And his mother, they're from Hawaii, though.
Yeah.
They're from Hawaii. Yeah. And he started off doing, I think it was Michael Jackson impressions. He was doing a lot of dancing from a little boy. There's some very cute tapes if you Google Bruno Mars and early years. He was actually doing a lot.
Yeah.
But did you start off like that? Did you? I don't see any videos. Give you an
interesting parallel, actually. My first rap that I ever performed was in Hawaii.
No way. Up there with Bruno.
Yeah. And this was when I was a child.
Really?
This was when I knew that my family tells this story all the time. They knew I was going to be in some type of performing art because of this. My father was in the military. We lived in Hawaii on the island of Oahu for a while. For a few years. And we used to go to the luau's, and they would have these, the big parties, Hawaiian parties, luau's. And at some point during one of the parties, I just ran up on stage and I grabbed a mic. I couldn't have been older than 5 years old, and I just started rapping to the crowd.
Rapping?
Yeah.
So you started off rapping.
This is like a one-off scenario. This wasn't something that occurred every time we went to a party, but I just happened. So I felt compelled at that time to do it. It's on video, it's documented, and it's just crazy because that's my family always says like they knew at that point I was gonna be a performing artist, some type of performing artist
it's a foreshadowing into your future.
Yeah, how naturally.
That's so sweet.
Because they say as a child, as a kid, you're the most untainted. You're the most you haven't been influenced as much as a child. The younger you are, right? And so I was doing what came naturally. I don't even know if I was listening to rap at that point. You know what I'm saying?
But you were just on
something
stage.
Told me to get on stage and start grabbing a mic and start rapping. Less than 5 years old.
You know what? Well, it's a foreshadowing into the future.
Absolutely.
But let me ask you a question. So before we leave today, give us a plug to where you're going to be performing next and what's coming up for Demo.
What I will say is that, and I want to shout out my Soulful Noise family. Like I said, they've been doing so much, and
Soulful
I've watched
Noise family. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out Xavier and Lanisha and the whole the Noise band, and they've built a platform to somewhat performing artists.
Your band is incredible.
They're amazing.
They're incredible.
And the next show for that is this Sunday at Complex. I think it's called. Oh, did that get canceled? Never mind. So
it's the music business, guys. You never know what's gonna go.
Well, definitely, what I will say is go to add them on Instagram. Add me too at This Is Demo. And all the shows are usually posted on there through their Facebook. You can always go to my website at thisisdemo.com and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at thisisdmo, and I post everything there.
Yeah. This is DMO.
Yep.
And okay, so we got your Instagram, which is This Is DMO. He says Demo, but it's really This Is, because I got it wrong and I couldn't find his little icon. You have it, This is DMO.
Yep,
okay, that's
DMO,
how you know it's him. And you can listen to his music. You can actually listen to his inspirational messages. And I actually was moved by a lot of them. I didn't even know a lot of these entertainers have put out so much inspirational, videos for us to watch. And I love the one with, what's his name?
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz. There's another one with Kevin Hart and a few other rappers.
The 2 Chainz one, I want to reiterate that because it's such a powerful message, and I listen to it so much. He says the main part of it. He says that, and you'd have to watch the whole clip to get the context, but the main part of it and the message he tries to drive, which I want to deliver right now, is he says, "In 1 year, your life can change."
In
1 year, your life can change. And I know we've kind of talked about, before this, about like how things have changed for you and how, just making that one move for you did for you.
The drive from New York to California.
Yeah, and it's like you really, as whatever you're trying to do, whatever, especially in entertainment, you make the right moves, you hustle as hard as you can. In 1 year, your life can change.
That is
it's a fact.
Yeah, it's true. Guys, I mean, it's been wonderful. This is Demo, not DMO. It's Demo. He's been an inspiration on the show. You know what? You can catch him. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on YouTube. He's on all the social media platforms for Muso. Apple, Instagram, you name it. You're going to see this guy in LA somewhere. Check out his videos, guys. And I really believe this is one artist that will... 2018 is a come up year. I just feel it. It's a come up year. Yeah. So you're definitely going to be seeing this guy around.
And shout out to my videographer, Fatali Teklib. That's my business partner for Great Society. Great, which is my label and agency. It stands for God Reserves Every Artist's Time, and it's our label, it's our agency. It's where we create and curate anything from playlists to additional artists to videos.
Thank you so much. Yep. This has been amazing, guys. Okay, guys, this is the end of our show. Catch them next time at Ayyo84.
Hey, you're listening to AKA Ayyo82, Ayyo84 on LA Talk Radio.